Hi everyone, today I'm going to review the best square alternatives specifically for salons and spas. So there are a ton of options out there and there are many reasons why square might not be working for you. If you're a growing business, it might not be enough in terms of the features that you get. If you are an independent stylist or you are working with a team member, you might find that the price seems appealing at face value, but it's still not quite doing what you need it to do. So I'm going to look at some of the main alternatives available to you based on your needs. So for starters, Square has several levels of membership, and this most basic membership that you can see here for someone working by themselves is free. Now, it's free to sign up if you are by yourself. As soon as you add a team member, you can expect a monthly charge, and that's going to increase to about $50 for the next level up. And if you are a thriving business and you have multiple locations, you can expect to pay around $150 per month. Now, with the top two levels, that is per month and per location. So even if you have 2 employees under your belt, but you have 2 separate locations, you can expect that cost to double. So for starters, I'm going to talk about the cost. Obviously, that's what Square is. So a lot of people start with Square when they're by themselves because look, I can set my appointments, I can go to my calendar function, I can manage my online bookings very easily, and then of course I can process payments. But once your business starts growing, it's likely that the free version isn't going to cut it, and the versions that you have to pay for jump pretty steeply compared to the features and functionality that you find in a lot of alternatives. So I'm going to pop over here to Vagaro. So Vagaro has a pretty easy layout. In my mind, it's a little bit cleaner. It looks better. There's judicious use of color here at the top. You have this top checkout, customers. You can very easily see all the data that you need compared to this, which is just kind of clunky. There seems to be too much happening around this side panel here. I'm constantly clicking to get to where I need to go, and usually with things like that, oh, I still have to click, I have to go down, I have to click, I have to move over, and it just looks a lot better here when we look at this calendar function. Now, that said, Vagaro is going to cost an average of around $25 to $30 per month if you're just starting out with their basic plan. So the price will increase, of course, based on the features that you add. So if you are looking to scale moderately, this is a good alternative for that because you can choose that base price and then from there add extra features a la carte. So one of the things they have is the marketing options here. You have things like the website builder that can be very handy. Something else to consider if you are struggling with Square's inability to build out a website for you. But you can see that these are things that will come at different costs depending on what you are doing. So if you want to add things like daily deals, that will come at an additional cost to list your business on Vagaro's front-facing or customer-facing platform. So Vagaro has a marketplace where people can search, and you have to sign up for this in order to list right here with a profile. But of course, that does help with your marketing. So one of the things that I do actually like a lot about that marketplace is the access to daily deals. So that's a good way to promote your schedule if you do find yourself with a lot of availability one day. Let's say customers have canceled or you just don't have a lot of bookings for one day or 1 week, or maybe there's a certain day of the week where there aren't a lot of people interested in getting their hair cut or colored. In that case, you might be able to list yourself on this front-facing marketplace, and from there add things like services and classes, and particularly those easy last-minute daily deals. So this will come at an extra cost depending on the level of membership you have with Vagaro. Similarly, you can create forms. They are very good at the drag and drop form creation for internal forms, but you can see here that that's also going to cost. So if you are paying for the basic monthly membership at around $25 to $30 per month, and you need to create forms as a salon or a spa in particular, safety forms, HIPAA forms, client waivers that they have to sign ahead of time, it's going to add an extra $15 per month, assuming that you are creating those forms from the most basic platform, of course. So This is something to consider, but it's a great way to add services as you need them while still keeping your costs low. That said, if you are jumping, you are scaling significantly. Maybe you have the most advanced form of Square right now, and you already have multiple services, multiple locations, and you are looking for something else to add to your overall features and functions, then I would consider Boulevard. So Boulevard is a very comprehensive platform. When you pay your monthly membership, everything is included. If you have multiple employees or multiple locations, you can expect to pay the exact same monthly fee. So I can come over here and manage my business. And if I have a business with 2 locations, which we do, we have Beverly Hills and Santa Monica, it's not going to cost me any differently. My staff members, I can add as many staff as I need. I can take away staff, and it's still not going to cost me anything else. That is something to strongly consider if you are a scaling business, medium, small size business, and you are looking to grow. Your costs for Boulevard each month will be about the same as the most advanced Square platform is charging if you have more than 10 employees or you have multiple locations. So another issue that people run into with Square is this just general function, right? You can see here that it's kind of a clunky interface. I touched on that before, and it's a very limited interface. I can set up my banking, which I do like. I can check on any loans that I have. I can manage bill pay through here with my vendors, which is also nice. But managing staff has very limited options here. Managing my customers, also very limited. I have some options for campaigns in terms of my marketing, but it's mostly limited, as you can see here, to Facebook and text messaging, as well as email campaigns. You do have access to Google reviews if you want to set that up, but you will be limited as well in terms of your ability to get reviews from your customers, say by sending them an email following up with an appointment. So if that is an issue for you, I would take a look at GlossGenius and Boulevard. So I'll start with GlossGenius over here. I don't like the layout, so if user interface and that clunkiness is a problem with this side panel, which I dislike greatly, you're going to find the same issue here, only it's somewhat worse because it's all just pictures. So you get to play pictures, but if you are struggling with those reviews and that client management aspect, and you want to really grow your client base, strongly consider GlossGenius. So you can very easily add clients here. You can protect your business and grow your business with, as you can see here, client notes, images that get saved to track their progress, as well as service and product preferences, and sending birthday reminders and the like. So that is something to consider. You do have many more functions than you would get with even the most advanced form of Square. Now, as I said, Boulevard is a very big contender here as well. I love the way their client management system is set up. So anywhere that you see a client name, it pulls up this clickable client profile. So this will always, Virginia Willems will always be a clickable link. I can pull up her data whenever, wherever, and it will give me this exact same layout. And I love the color juxtaposition here of scheduled appointments versus scheduling alerts, client notes. So your eyes are drawn to the most important details here, like schedule one now. But more importantly, you have a space to add significantly more client details than you have with Square. So I can send a message right from here. I can be like, hey, Virginia, it's been a while and I want to encourage her to book. So we're going to just ask when she wants to book her next appointment. And then I send it, and then we're done. Now it's been sent. I can check out her history. She canceled her new extensions, but she did do a tint retouch. So she did have an appointment this month, but the new extensions, maybe those were out of her budget and she's waiting until next month. Regardless, I'm able to follow up with this information. I can view the appointment right from here, and then I can edit that. Maybe I want to update the appointment because I reached out to her and she was like, yeah, it's not really in the budget. I can do all of that from right here. And you'll notice that I messaged her from within that client profile. It pops up right here. So I'm going to just, since I'm here, dive into the next reason you might consider Boulevard as a good alternative to Square as a salon or spa, and that is improved client communication, not just client management. If you are looking to build out your client base with better communication, you can see here that this is all right here. Anytime someone contacts our team, it pops up right here and everyone can view it. Everyone who has login credentials can view all of this. So even if, let's say, I'm currently foiling someone and the girl in the chair next to me is done, she might pop in and be like, oh, hey, Sammy just emailed you back and said, oh, can I come by and pick up my card tomorrow? And while I'm still foiling, I can be like, yeah, that's fine. Do you mind sending Sammy a quick message? And she'll totally do that for me. And it doesn't matter who it came from because it's all right here in this exact same platform. So as I said, really comprehensive client base here, but I love that message center and the front desk feature, right? So Square has a very simple way to manage your bookings through this clunky system. But you'll notice here you have your overview, you have your calendar, waitlist, online booking, whoop, and then settings. And that's effectively all you have for payments and cancellations. Now with Boulevard, as you can see here, there's a whole front desk here. This basically takes away from any secondary platform you might be using to try and coordinate your front desk and your check-in. You can see who has confirmed, who hasn't confirmed, who's arrived, and who's already completed their appointments. Now GlossGenius has a similar setup where you can look at your calendar function right here. And when you look at your calendar, easily you add an appointment, easily add a client. So let's add a new client here. And Mary Johnson is going to be there we go. So we're adding Mary. Very simple. And what service is Mary getting? She's going to have a haircut. Now, if we don't have our services filled out, it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to book that appointment, but you can see the general process here. Now, with regard to managing your staff, GlossGenius offers easy things here like time tracking, commissions, payroll, and staff. And it has the multiple person icon here. So you can click on that. It'll let you see who all you have, manage permissions and controls. So if you are expanding your team and you need to be able to manage multiple people, that is something to consider. Vagaro does have settings that let you manage your employees with employee profiles, but if you need to process anything for tax season, that is going to come at an extra cost, and that's going to be per employee as well. So I'm going to pop over here to Goldie for a similar comparison. So Goldie does offer really easy online booking, but if you are trying to deal with an employees and forms, you can see that there are options for unlimited staff members, and you can assign different logins and permissions. The way they pay out is a little bit different though, so you won't have the same quick payout that you get with some of the other platforms. So depending on how you plan to set up your payroll, that is something to consider if you are looking at Square alternatives for salons and for spas. Now, with regard to marketing, Goldie is a somewhat affordable step up from Square, and it does have good marketing options. So when you come over here to their marketing section, you can generate social media posts and use social media templates. Now, this is something that you don't get with a lot of the other alternatives. So the other platforms do have integration capabilities, so you can certainly post something or share something and communicate with those same clients or potential clients within the platform, but they don't have these social media generators using AI. So the AI assistant here can do a lot for you, and I really like that. If you are someone who hates marketing, I am someone who hates marketing, so if you are on team no thank you, this is a nice alternative because it handles a lot of stuff for you. You can upload a photo, the assistant will interpret it, and then create a post for you. So you don't even have to do anything. All you have to do is have photos. And one way that you can do that is, of course, take pictures around your office. Maybe you're selling a new hair product and you want to offer a discount if people buy an Olaplex treatment. Take a picture of the Olaplex treatment in, you know, a quick snapshot that you take with your phone, with your backdrop, and being your chair or some other signage relating to your business. And then you can just create this sign right now and be done with it. There are also templates that you can use. So if marketing is really something that you are focused on, definitely consider Goldie here as your best alternative to Square. So similar pricing here. I would definitely go with Vagaro if you are looking for a slightly more affordable step up from the options you have here with Square, as well as Boulevard if you are having a big change, lots of clients and lots of employees and multiple locations. So if you don't like those hidden fees, definitely consider these two. If you are looking for improved staff management, consider GlossGenius. Of course, Boulevard has a lot of features that help you with administrative tasks and managing your employees, and Goldie is going to be a great option for you if you are looking for help with marketing.